Okay, so we are designing a A-frame cabin for Airbnb 2,000 miles away, meaning we're building this out in the Branson, Missouri market, but we're doing all this from the Bay Area in California. One, we've never seen the property in person. I've never seen the land in person, so it's complete new construction. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna give away the 10 questions that I always ask every single vendor to make sure that I'm not missing anything when it comes to designing and building out an Airbnb remotely. All right, so here's what we got. Here's our A-frame cabin that is in the works. This is a series of 10 cabins, all side by side. This is the front of it. We opted for a wraparound deck. And as you go back over here, we're gonna put a hot tub right over here. And then in this backyard here, once it cleans out, we're also gonna put a mini putting course back here as well, or a mini putting green. So let's show you what the inside looks like. And then I wanna show you a finish unit too, and then tell you exactly what we're doing to make sure that we're able to build this out, get it set up completely remote. So this is the current stages of it, waiting for flooring, but we expect this to then get fully built out in the next 4 weeks and furnish it 2 weeks after that. So hopefully we can get out there come the summertime to enjoy this. So this is an example of a finished one, which I think they did a great job here. Love the string lights across the deck, really brightens it up. They opted for a fireplace versus fire pit, which is actually interesting. I might kind of steal that. So you definitely want to look at other Airbnbs in your area to figure out what they're doing aesthetically, but this is the same exact layout, just a different kind of interior layout that they have here. This looks like more like a couple's retreat that they're building out. They got a hot tub, very interesting hunting elements here. It's like a carport. They have another fire pit. It's all wood fire pit. Very interesting. And they actually don't have a door. So this is definitely designed as a couple's retreat versus anything else. They did a really good job in staging and design. Cute couple's retreat. They put the island here and made that living space or that bedroom bigger. But ultimately the goal for Airbnb is you need to have an Instagrammable moment. So what's the wow factor? What's that cover photo? Why is someone really gonna go there? Because they wanna take a picture and they wanna experience that. For us, we're thinking about golfing it out like crazy. Let me give you an example of another winning property that is an inspiration to us. All right, so this property, we are clearly very different in terms of price points and things like that, but this one is crazy. They have a giant putting green on a hillside with a pool, and then a Trackman golf simulator. Even on this one too, I believe this is like, look at this. They actually have built-in golf courses to the hillside as you come up in Scottsdale. Beautiful architecture. Like this is like your bachelor party on steroids. Amazing. This other one here, voted #1 house. This one, not as stunning of a view, but they just created so many experiences that how do you not just have a giant family reunion here? Putting greens, full basketball court with a pickleball court, pool, bowling. So we want to recreate this experience here. We're going to have a putting green on ours, and then we're also going to have some frisbee golf with the backdrop being an A-frame within a putting green over here, and so that you can go ahead and take a really cool shot while you're putting with the A-frame and back. And that is your, oh my God, I just had this great vacation. All right, so what are the steps that you need in order to fully build out an Airbnb remotely? So the first is you have to understand your design. For us, because there are other existing Airbnbs now that just got built before us, we know exactly what the layout is. We can see the furniture, see how the space is used, and use that as a mock and inspiration, especially for that design size. So I like to lay everything out on one big Canva whiteboard here, and I do it by space. So again, trying to take a modern luxury approach to some of this here. Very woodsy, leather couch, fireplace, electronic fireplace. The primary bedroom here, I'm also gonna add in the desk and a workspace area. For us, we're gonna maximize, they say, heads and beds. And so we'll have double beds. And then we're also even going to have a loft that's gonna be more of a game room flex space. So this will be kind of a fold-up futon with then a 4-in-1 pool table. And then everything is gonna be about the backyard. So we'll have frisbee golf, the putting green, we'll put a hot tub, and then as well as a lounge set on the outside with some string lights as well. Now this is the first thing that you need. You need to understand the space so that you're able to go ahead and get a rough calculation of what you need. And this is also going to be a pillar piece for you to send over to the handyman and design team as they either receive it. So let me just show you what my spreadsheet looks like. All right, so usually what I'll do here is I will have a link to everything that we need to do for this project on one spreadsheet. And from there, I have links to every single thing I want to order, including cost, the quantity, and subtotals. And I do it also by room. And then sometimes I'll also have alternate links too, just in case something's back ordered or sold out. But I'll put this all here just so that I can send over the rough mock as well as the quantities for everything. Some of these don't include TVs and etc. So being able to send both of these to a prospective vendor is good just in terms of being able to itemize or build out the initial scope of work. And so I'll have the subtotal of everything here. So obviously I'm not charging for design because I'm designing it, but miscellaneous decor and bedding have an additional $2,000 for budgeting for that, another $1,000 in miscellaneous kitchen supplies for cups, plates, coffee makers, pots and pans, etc. And then budgeting about $7,000 to install. That means someone to receive, build out everything that you saw in the Canva link and some other things here. So all of that, including all the furniture here. So now what I have here is a total of the sum of everything here. So including quantities of all the decor pieces, plus install the kitchen and bath. Now if I include the purchase of a hot tub, as well as a putting green, this total build out, not including the structure, is roughly $34,000. This is what's important for me to be able to send to someone as a vendor, this and the design of like, hey, here's exactly what we're gonna be ordering, where we're gonna order it from, and then I can go ahead and start to price this out and request vendors. Now, honestly, this is the hardest part, is finding a trusted vendor to help you set this up. Referrals are number one, for sure. So whether it be your builder or other property managers or other investors you know in the area, try and get whoever helped them build it out, also give you that referral. I know you're tempted to want to fly out and do the build yourself, but especially when you're doing this remotely, you want 99% of it done. So when you go there, it's just finishing touches, decor, and etc. Having everything else built out, and that way you have a workable space, allows you to focus more on the last decor and as well as the marketing of the property, which ultimately impacts the success of your business more. All right, to make things a little crazy, let's go to all tasks board. For all the properties that we own or manage, we operate it all through just one simple dashboard on Notion, which gets a little bit crazy, but then I have things for every single property and looking at what things are reoccurring for every single property, what things that we need to do, what are we doing, and what needs review, etc., and then what's done. Ultimately, if I just go straight to this property here for this A-frame, of course, this is the newest one, so there's the least amount of tasks, I guess, of reoccurring. But I like this because I can separate it based off of properties and know exactly what is happening in each property and what needs to go through. And then from here, I start to have a list of all the vendors. So it's just, who am I calling? What's their contact? Where was the referral source? What date did I contact them? And then ultimately was able to get a price from them or not. I'll also leave additional notes during our call, but ultimately you want to have a place where you can go ahead and have all of these notes. For the build out itself, in addition to the screenshots of the design and everything I'm sending, I also have measurements of the room. And you can either get that from the builder or ask your contractor to. And then again, every single vendor that I call, I bring out their contact information, and then I actually have an AI that records the call, so if we need to go back, I can get those notes there. And then from there, I also have my written notes as I'm walking through here. Okay, and real quick, not only is building out STR remotely really hard, but managing it becomes even more stressful. And the way that we're able to do that in 5 different markets, we have Dallas, Lake Tahoe, Joshua Tree, Branson, Missouri, Columbus, Ohio. We're able to be in so many different markets because we use a property management system called Hospitable. Now, Hospitable automates 90% of our guest communication, syncs all of our calendars for all the properties across all platforms, Airbnb, VRBO, even gives us a direct booking site, and then is able to link our calendars to our vendors so that way they know exactly when to clean. That means that 90% of the basic guest communications are done through Hospitable, and we can focus on honing operations and making more money. If you need to optimize your short-term rental business, or you're thinking about starting an Airbnb, make sure to click the link down below for Hospitable and sign up today. Thanks again, Hospitable, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into my favorite questions that I like to ask vendors. So they're on the screen here. You can screenshot it and then from there copy it down. But the first is, aside from the basic questions of tell me about your business and etc., some of the more specific nitty-gritty questions that you need to ask to make sure that you don't forget is, do you accept third-party shipments? Do you offer storage if the install is delayed? What are the delivery windows and fees? Do you also handle furniture assembly? Do you do walkthrough videos and photo updates? That's actually a requirement requirement, 100%. Are you insured? What happens if something arrives damaged? Do you install large items like TVs, mirrors, and light fixtures? Can you handle outdoor lights, grills, putting greens? Can you coordinate with other vendors on site? What's your lead time for scheduling? Do you require payment upfront or upon completion? Which you can do a partial deposit upfront, but ultimately this is going to be by the hour work. Another thing that I also ask for is, I know that it varies, but based off of the amount of furniture that we're ordering and scope of work, size of the building itself, or size of the unit itself, what's the ballpark range? How much time do you think, assuming that you have all the materials there, that it would take for your team to build out? And also how many people are building that out? And then of course, can you provide any references of past jobs? And then from there, call as many as you can. I know it sounds daunting, but the more references, the more people that you can connect with, the better you can get a sense of who's actually a good vendor versus a bad vendor, especially when you're new to a market. Ultimately, if you're building remotely, you have to think not only as a designer, but also as a project manager. And then start with an anchor idea. For us, for this build out is going to be golf. So everything is golf related. And then vet your team, and then use automation like Hospitable to make sure that everything flows as smoothly as possible. Again, my name is Josh Baldovino. I'm a marketer. I'm a real estate investor. And currently we have 169 units. So it's a mix of long-term rentals, short-term rentals, commercial properties like an apartment, and even assisted living facility. And this is our newest unique stay. It's gonna have that golf theme. So if you wanna see how this build out turns out, make sure to like and subscribe. And again, thank you, Hospitable. And if you wanna see exactly why we are in the Branson market, make sure to click this first video here, and I'll see you in the video. Cheers.